Hi guys, Paul from Journey of a Petrolhead. Today, 2006 Jaguar XK. This is the first version of 4.2 V8 without supercharger, 300 horsepower, and we're taking it for the test drive now, which I'm looking forward to actually. I've driven these cars in the past and they've always driven really nice. We do like them, so we thought we'd review one for you and see what we think. So what's the first impression? First impression, I like the wheel. If you compare this to the previous generation XK, which was heavily based on the XJS and the Aston Martin DB7, this is a much better interior with the nice touchscreen and a nice fat driving wheel. And an awful lot of toys and buttons in this car as well, as you'll notice as we do the drive, as we show you the interior video later on. Initial impressions driving this, the wheel is really nice, the driving position is great. There's nice information in front of me here. I like the dials all laid out. Like my XF, I notice it's actually almost an XF dashboard. I think the XF dashboard came from this. There's no temperature gauge. I do like a temperature gauge on a car, so I find that a bit disappointing. You get used to not having one. I've gotten used to not having one on my XF, but it's a bit disappointing. I'd like to have a temperature gauge. What I do like is the engine noise when you put the foot down. The exhausts are nicely tuned, and there's a nice roar that comes off it as it takes off. Everybody knows you're there, let's put it that way. So there's not a car for subtle driving. I don't know if that sound comes across on the video much now or not, but it does sound really nice. The other thing, great driving position, good seats, nice, comfortable, easy to see out of the mirrors. We do like the mirrors. It's just good visibility out of the rear window as well, which is a change, because on some of these coupes and hatchbacks you don't get a lot of rear visibility out the back, but it's nice. There's a feel of air in the cabin, even though, now that you're looking at the back there, viewers, the rear seats are effectively useless. You can't put real people in the rear seats. They're great for storage. They're not great for people. That was a known complaint to this car when it came out. They thought, based on the previous one, there was a little less legroom in the back in this one. Fine, I mean, it's a sports car. You're not going to take families out for the day in this. That's not what it's designed to do. We're now stuck at traffic lights, which is a shame. Let's take you a quick tour through the controls here. So we have heated rear window and front window, which is nice. I like the heated front window idea. Climate control, dual zone. We have a nice touch screen. The heated seats are on the touch screen, which is really, I like that idea. When you're driving, it's easy to change. That's actually, this generation of touchscreen, this is the first generation. In 2009 they updated this and they put the newer screen in. So when you see the review of the XF, it's got the same interior. They lifted the newer XF interior, put it in this 2009. This is a better layout. Everything is easier to get to. You don't need to hit a switch button for the seats and then go up here and start messing. It's all here in front of you. This is a better layout. They should have stuck with this, in my opinion. There's a great feeling of road holding. The rear wheels are rather huge. Boop, boop. And the power obviously also goes through the rear wheels. It's a 6-speed automatic transmission, and it's got the famous Jaguar J-Gate, but they've done the J-Gate transmission slightly differently here. So what we have is, there's our J, but all that's over here is sport mode. There isn't the usual range of manual selection of gears here. You do that with paddles on where? On the steering wheel. I hate paddles on the steering wheel, but at least the paddles are there. Now what you can't do, you can change the paddle, that's fine, and it's a nice instant change. And in sport mode, it holds the gears longer if you're letting it do it itself, and it then changes them faster. So sport mode is nice. It also seems to make, it doesn't really, but it seems in my head, it makes the exhaust louder, which is nice. I actually, in this particular mode, I like D for just cruising around town. It's quite nice. And I miss the manual override, because this now has the same problem that my newer XF has, which is I can't do manual override from here, and if I'm turning the wheel, the paddles aren't where I left them. So we're back to the same problem with paddles on the wheel, which annoys me. Speaking of the wheel, we have the usual controls. We have phone controls, we have media controls, we have cruise control. It's the same Jaguar cruise control system as on the XF. It's quite nice, it's very easy to use. We've got nice seat controls, and I like the fact that the seat controls are actually on the door. They're also on the passenger door over there, the same range of seat controls. That's really easy to use. Really like where they put those seats. It's really cleverly thought out. Those buttons are nice and easy to get to. And in case you forget you're driving a Jaguar, you've got a big Jaguar stamped in your head. We also have an automatic dimming mirror. Now, this is a 2006 model. There's an awful lot of toys in this car for 2006. Automatic dimming mirror. There are dimming mirrors on the wings as well, which is handy. Now I noticed the one on the driver's mirror needs a bit of a fix. Sometimes the chromatic dim just gets a bit faded, but it's a great idea. I've seen this before in cars, and it actually makes a huge difference when you have wing mirrors that dip with you. It's unusual in most cars, but I've seen it in a Jaguar before, and I do quite like it. Looking at the front window of this particular car, the bonnet has a little power bulge, as I call them. It was brought in by the Americans with their big overheads. But in this particular car, you can actually see it quite nicely. So there's a great line at the front. You've got the lines of the bonnet with the bump, the bulge, I suppose, in the middle, and then the little wings where the headlights are. I like the lines out the front window really nice. You can see the lines of the car. This is a real complaint I have with the XF. You can't see that. The wipers come up too far in the XF, and you lose all this nice detail from inside the car, which is a shame, because this is a particularly nice looking machine. I do like the design of this. The road holding, I'm not sure I mentioned enough about the road holding before. The big wheels on the back, they give you great road holding as you go around corners at speed. It's really, really well put together. On the bumpy stuff, the suspension is very forgiving. You could drive this every day as your normal car without any trouble. It's comfortable, but when you want to press on, stick it in sport mode, put the foot down, the car sits down, and you're gone. And it does drive really, really well. We do really like the balance and poise of this machine. Okay, so that's a brief test drive on the Jaguar XK 4.2 2006, the V8 300 horsepower model. It's nice. The gearbox is nice. The engine makes a great noise. It's not quite as torquey as a turbo diesel XF 3 litre we've driven in the past, but this is really nice. It's an everyday car. It's comfortable to drive. It's great road holding. It's got lots of space for the two passengers, because you won't fit people in the back. If you're trying to fit people in the back, don't use that as a plan for this car. You won't. You will fit luggage in the back. The boot is quite large as well, which is nice. We like that. I do like the controls. I really like the layout in here. We'll go through the interior video now shortly. We'll take you through everything. But everything's easy to handle when you're driving. The visibility is great. The mirrors are great. There's a lot of headroom. Brilliant road holding and a noise. It's an enjoyable place to be. Tune into the next video now, where we take you through the interior and the controls, and we'll try and explain as much as we can to you. And as always, guys, like and subscribe, and we'll bring you more videos. Thanks very much.